Remember the Bard. The monster is dead, right there at your feet. Its fate it did find, when your sword it did meet. Your aim was quite true, you performed at your best. You resisted foul magic, against the villain's behest. You knew when to move, because we saw that trap. You snuck through their fortress, and leapt over that gap. Your story is told, and lands near and far. But let's take a few minutes, to remember the Bard. Throughout all your adventures, I've been there by your side, stirring you onward to victory, your strengths magnified. When your foot it did stumble, and your reach it fell short, I came to your aid, with that witty retort. I distracted the dragon, and persuaded the king. I took to the stage, and began to sing. I'm good at most things, but if there's one thing I do, I lift up my friends, and support them, it's true. Hello there everyone, I'm Jake from JNJtabletop, and today, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Bard. Now, bards come in many shapes and sizes, so let's go over a few examples as we get started here. If we look at history, the Pied Piper of Hamelin, as legend has it, led disease-infested rats away from the town using only the power of his music, which, in D&D, a bard's magic flows through his music, or if you're maybe playing in a little more open-ended of a game, maybe just their art or their artistry. There's a certain sense of panache and dramatic flair that gives them their power. If we look to modern media, I think Jaskier from the Witcher series is another really good example. This guy traveled along with Geralt of Rivia, just simply chronicling all of his heroic deeds as he traveled throughout the land. And then he told those deeds anywhere he could as he poured them into song. Also, I think Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy is another really good example. He loves music. He has an obvious charisma about him. He doesn't stand out as the strongest or maybe the most martially gifted character when it comes to the Guardians of the Galaxy, but he has a quality about him that seems to unite and support the members of his team, and then even has some mysterious powers and or abilities that maybe he still doesn't fully even understand. Because bards tend to be very charismatic, one of the main things that a bard is going to be doing for the party is that they are often going to be doing the talking. They're like your party, the face of the party, if you will. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean they're the leader, because bards do often tend to have a reputation for being kind of irresponsible and maybe someone who doesn't necessarily stick to the plan. Although you play your bard however you feel like you need to. That's often a role that they find that themselves are filling. They're also extraordinarily versatile, and this is really represented in their Jack-of-all-trades feature, which in any skill that you don't have any training in, you're still going to find ways to get little bonuses that just kind of make it so that as far as skills are concerned, you really don't have any like glaring weakness, which is a wonderful thing because sometimes you really don't know what situation you're going to find yourself in. Now, bards are also very creative. They are a spellcaster that will actually find ways to get out of situations and combats and encounters without actually having to resort to actually inflicting damage and like really fighting. Their spells are focused mostly on like misdirection or charms and illusions, which is another really fun thing to have at your disposal. And one of the most satisfying things that you can see as a bard is a bit of a bewildered look on the face of the DM as they kind of go, well, I didn't expect you to do that. We just think for a second. And the person playing the bard usually just kind of smiles, looks at the rest of their party, and is very happy to buy them that extra moment. But from the poem that we read in the beginning, the most signature thing that a bard has is their bardic inspiration. They are, in a way, just the ultimate support class. Now, Bardic Inspiration is going to allow you to give your allies bonus dice to roll when they try to do things. And it's actually, at times, going to take something that would have failed and make it a success, which, because of that, it allows you and your group to kind of at times just take that extra risk and just see what happens, which is really where D&D shines. Sometimes you just have no idea what's going to happen, but if you have that little extra boost and inspirational flair and support behind you, you're probably going to do things you normally wouldn't, and they're probably going to succeed more often than they might normally do. At level 3, your bard gets to choose what subclass they're going to take, and that's represented in the player's handbook as the College of Lore or the College of Valor. Now, if you want to focus more on magic, you're going to choose the College of Lore. If you're interested in focusing more on weapons and like martial training, you're going to choose the College of Valor. When it comes to building your bard, the most important thing is their charisma, because that's where all of their magic comes from, and the more charisma they have, the more instances that they can just give out that inspiration to their allies. So that's the highest stat you should pick. Next, I would follow that up with dexterity, because it's going to help you avoid being hit and taking damage altogether, as well as the weapons that bards are known for using tend to use dexterity as to how good they are at them. And then at the end of the day, having a high constitution is never a bad thing, because that's just going to make you more healthy and you'll have more hit points. And if you're really stuck and you don't know what race to play, I'd like to suggest using the half-elf. So that's going to do it for this video today. If you liked it, please give us a thumbs up. If you have any questions about playing a bard, or you have a concept you'd like to tell us about, or maybe you just want to say hello, go ahead and head down to the comments section and give us a shout out. And if you want to stay in tune with everything that's going on here on this YouTube channel, subscribe to it. If you're also interested in maybe catching our live discussions and or gameplay, go ahead and head over to twitch.tv/JNJtabletop and throw us a follow there. In the description, we're going to have links to the Twitch channel and all of our social media accounts, as well as any other helpful resources we may think of. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a good day, and maybe you feel inspired to play a bard. Take care, everyone.